Welcome to our YouTube video about NBA players who were drafted out of high school and where they are now. In the early 2000s, the NBA made a controversial decision to allow high school players to enter the NBA draft. This decision led to the rise of some of the league's most exciting players, including Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and Kevin Garnett. However, not all high school draftees found success in the NBA. In this video, we will take a look at some of the notable high school draftees, where they are now, and what they have been up to since their NBA careers ended. Join us as we explore the fascinating stories of these former high school phenoms, their struggles, their triumphs, and their journeys beyond the NBA. Ricky Sanchez, Mexico Pro League. Peter John Ramos Sanchez, a 6'11" forward from Puerto Rico, was drafted out of IMG Academy by the Portland Trail Blazers with the 35th pick in the 2005 draft. However, the Blazers quickly traded his rights to the Denver Nuggets on the same night. Despite being part of the Nuggets franchise, Sanchez never played for them and instead split his time between the D-League and the top league in his hometown of Puerto Rico. Over the span of 2007 to 2013, Sanchez was traded 3 more times, but never saw an NBA court. Currently playing for Fuerza Regia in Mexico's Pro League, it appears unlikely that Sanchez will ever play in the NBA. Nonetheless, his name still carries some fame. Quane Brown, Big 3 League. Fans of Quane Brown, the first high school player ever selected as the top overall pick in the NBA draft, still have the opportunity to watch him play as a member of the Three-Headed Monsters in the Big 3 League. Brown was highly touted when he came out of Glenn Academy in Georgia and was given the daunting task of being Michael Jordan's first draft pick during his tenure as president of the Washington Wizards. Despite numerous anecdotes, neither Brown nor Jordan found success with each other. Jordan would eventually move on to a career with the Charlotte Hornets, while Brown would play for 6 additional teams during his 12-year stint in the NBA. Although Brown failed to live up to his predicted potential, he can take solace in the fact that Anthony Bennett has now assumed the dubious distinction of being the biggest bust in league history as a #1 draft pick. Lewis Williams, NBA player for Los Angeles Clippers. Lou Williams is known by many as one of the best 6 men in the NBA. However, some may also recognize him for his unconventional relationship with Blonde and Brown, his former 2 girlfriends. Drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers with the 45th pick in the 2005 draft, Williams struggled in his rookie season, playing in only 30 games with limited playing time. Although his sophomore season saw significant improvements in his stats, Williams continued to struggle to find his identity on the court. Everything changed during the 2007-8 season, and Williams never looked back. He went on to average double-digit points for 10 consecutive seasons, becoming a consistent scoring threat off the bench. Last season, Williams was traded from the Lakers to the Rockets before finding his way back to Hollywood, this time as part of the Clippers' Chris Paul deal with Houston. Andre Blatche, CBA League. For the past 3 years, Andre Blatche has been putting up impressive numbers, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds per game. However, these stats have not been in the NBA, but rather in the CBA. Blatche made his NBA debut in 2005 after being drafted by the Washington Wizards with the 49th pick. Unfortunately, he had a rough start to his rookie season due to a carjacking and shooting incident. As he became more accustomed to the NBA, Blatche's game and contributions to the Wizards and later the Brooklyn Nets proved to be valuable. In the summer of 2014, Blatche took a chance by opting out of his contract and entering free agency, but struggled to find suitors in the NBA. He eventually headed overseas to continue his basketball career. Emer Johnson, NBA player for the Philadelphia 76ers. It wasn't until a series of off-season trades during the 2009-10 season that Johnson would end up in Toronto that his talents would be appreciated. As the last prep to pro draftee before the new NBA rule, Johnson was selected by the Detroit Pistons with the 56th pick in the 2005 draft. Not to be confused with an offensive threat, Johnson's calling has been his blue-collar work ethic that made him a valuable member to the Raptors' resurgence and a valued member of the Boston Celtics. Return to relevance. Entering the summer of 17 as a free agent, Johnson recently signed a one-year, $11 million contract with the Philadelphia 76ers, another club looking for a handyman to help rebuild. Darryl Dawkins/Bill Willoughby, retired. The godfathers of the prep-to-pro route, Chocolate Thunder was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers with the 5th pick in the 1975 draft, while Willoughby had to wait until the Atlanta Hawks picked him up with the 19th pick. Both big men had relatively successful individual careers in the league at that time, considering they were drafted straight out of high school. However, of the two, Dawkins was the more well-known, especially for his dunking ability. While both lasted at least 8 years in the league, neither would live up to their potential, despite what took place in that they made the jump straight from high school.